got a little pedal board issue. One of my patch leads broke. This is a complete one. The end of it there came apart in the pedal, so it's actually inside my harmonizer. The remnant is in there. You could possibly just see it. Now I've had this back off, and trust me, you cannot get to it. I've had this inner part off. You have to take the 4 screws off and then slacken these on the outside, and then it all pulls out. And then there are 2 block connectors, but it's a waste of time going any further. You can't get into these to push the remnant out. So what I'm going to do is, since the pedal's likely going to be junk, I figure the only way is to use a piece of jack plug like this, put a tiny bit of anodite or similar on the end of that, just push it in so that it glues to the inner bit, and then just leave it there, let it set, and hopefully it'll pull out in one. Otherwise I've got a ruined pedal basically, or it'll be so expensive to fix, really it'll be not worth doing. So now to compound that problem, I've just made that previous bit of video to show and repair it, and the second one's broke, so now I've got 2 pieces in the same hole, so I'm just going to have to do it twice over. But how I think I'd do it, I've solved this problem with an amplifier before. I had a piece broke off like this in an amp head, and what I think I did was, as I remember, I think you could get to that input a bit easier on the amp head, but this one you just can't get it to it at all. So it's a bit more, you can see remnant a bit more clearly now. But if you just push that spring clip out of the way slightly, then it should be free to fall out. It's just a case of holding it there and having it, just pushing it out of the way and just holding it upside down and hoping it'll fall out. Try to let it come out. So now what I'm going to attempt to do is, the 2 remnants are in this bit, and hold open the little sprung bit with this screwdriver, and then I've got a feeler gauge. It needs to be something fairly rigid, obviously. That's a 1/6 thou. I think that'll just, that might do it without damaging anything. So I'm going to try and hold this open. That's a little bit thicker, 1/8 thou. Right. So here we go. You can see that sprung bit coming up there. So it's a case of holding that open at the same time and then try to push that down if I can. Actually, that might be the easiest way. Force it in that gap. Ah, it's moved it. No, it's not coming out, but it has moved it. And it is, right, that's moved it. Isolated it into that central bit. So what I'm going to do is open this spring bit up to let it out, in theory. Can't see what I'm doing. Why is it doing that? That's it. Do something a little bit thicker than that. thinking now whether I can hold the sprung bit open with this or something thicker from outside here. Hopefully we aren't damaging anything. But at the moment I'm just expecting it to be broken anyway, so if I just get something thin in there, just to pull that upwards. That's a 10th thou. Push that first. Yeah. I think the best way is going to be to try and force this open, hold it open permanently, and then push it that way. So let's try that. Okay, so plan C. Jump the feeler gauge. I do just leaning that up at one side. Let's just... that's perfect. Use casing for that. Just lean that link case in there. Then press that upwards. That might just fall out actually, possibly. It's possible. It has. Yes, 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 yes. Now then. Can I get that one? Does that not work like that? I bet it don't. It doesn't. Looks at it. So what I'm going to have to do is just force that back as best I can with the feeler gauge. Now let's go backwards. So trying to handle the board as little as possible, but it's difficult. Now, this should come out if I can get it moving. Let's push it the other way, I think. That's moved it a bit. If I can just... that might be an idea. Leave that there. See if I can... Can't get into it with that. Nah. Is it dropping out? Is it? No, it's still its centre bit though. Right, that's definitely still its centre bit. Just got it. Yes, 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 yes. Oh. Let's hope pedal still works. So I've got the block connectors back in. Now it's just a case of getting these in. It's these nuts and washers on the outside that actually hold it in place in first place. It's awkward getting the washers to the outside of the casing. Is that it? No, it's not quite. Got it, I think. Have I? That's it. Now come, we can go back on. On this particular pedal, these are actually Torx bolts, or star bolts if you prefer. So incidentally, this is a TC Electronics pedal, and it's very well designed for bolting them to your pedal board rather than using Velcro or whatever. You've got an inner bit like this, and then the outer bit. Just got the outer bit attached to the board, bolted down to the board, and then it's just that big screw there that fastens it all together. I've got a couple of TC Electronics pedals. That one is very similar the way it's constructed. It's very easy to bolt down to the board, so nicely thought out, unlike some of them. So the last bit of fastening this up is just to tighten these against the casing. It's quite easy. This is actually the wrong size spanner, but it's doing the job. They're not nipping up a little bit anyway, so not much more than hand tight really. So it's ready to go back on board. Hold on.